The Kumbrakana route holds her in place. She's taking basics, and a good shot from Anha could send Izanami home here as first blood. And that's exactly what happened as Anha dives on the Izanami. Doesn't need the Impale to finish her off. And it looks like Geb could be going as well. And that is an early double kill in the duo lane. First blood goes the way of the Relentless Zellas. Nike being able to clear them waves. And Nike's reaching the stage now where she can clear the wave with one ability, but not if it's getting cancelled. And Anha is picking up another kill over in the duo lane. And Relentless Zellas of being relentless. 5 minutes in, 5 kills on the board. Needs to be careful. 3 people with the blink engages there. There's the Cataclysm. The Izanami ult comes in, but it's not going to be enough to do damage to a fed Chunga. And Mercury ults the Chunga, and Mercury is going to pick up a kill on the Chunga. What am I talking about? As Anha impales Janice into the wall, but the portal allows him to escape, but not escape too far as Mercury picks up a kill on the Janice. But Anha strikes back with the kill on Janice. Kumbrakana has been knocked to the ground, and Mercury's landing those uppercuts that's going to finish him off. As there's a double kill there, fell in favour of the Zellas. But Mercury was the real winner in that team fight, picking up 3 for the Japers. And this is what I mean when I say this fight isn't quite over. It doesn't connect with anybody. They'd way past where that needed to be, as Izanami is clearing the buffs here, but there's people collapsing from all sides. Needs to be careful, gets impaled, and their pillar is an enormous pillar. The traps are in the corner, but the invisibility, and Izanami strikes back with a fantastic ult, and the jukes from the invisibility that meant Anha didn't land any of the basic attacks from his ultimate, but Kumbrakana lands the kill on the Izanami to make it a 1-for-1. The first objective the game to fall here, but you've got to be careful when this is happening, when there's a Janice on the enemy team. The through space and time is always going to steal it, but not if it fires far too early and Thanatos goes up in the air and punishes Janice for the attempted steal. But it looks like the punish is going to go Janice's way, as the Mercury ult fires all the way across the team fight. Isn't quite enough to kill Thanatos. He gets away by the skin of his teeth, and as a result Mercury falls, and Anha gets another kill over on the Izanami. The ADC really winning this fight there, and now it looks like it's going to be a deicide in the way of the Relentless Zellas. The only person not to fall there is Nike, who might be enough of a deterrent to stop this fight from materializing. Thanatos lands on the Izanami, and out comes the bees, and the Izanami comes back in retaliation, but Thanatos uses the Aegis to get away, and once again escaped by the skin of his teeth. How many times is he going to get away with that? But Izanami does fall to the Athena. From the Zellas here, all waiting patiently. And Kumbrakana jumps in with an enormous mesmerize. I'm going to stick with the Thanatos because he's got an ult for somebody, and the ult is for Janice, but the Izanami comes back in retaliation, doesn't quite land. Athena's coming across to help this Thanatos. No one's going to fall yet. The Geb Cataclysm is enormous, but so is the Anha Pillar and Impale, and is Geb going to get away? No, he's not. The Anha ult finishes him away as Mercury's lining someone in with the ultimate, but not going to be able to pick up the kill. Nami uses Aegis to escape away, but it's not going to be for long. And Mercury does ult through and does a good amount of damage to Anha and Athena, enough for them to get away. Kumbrakana knocks up the Janice, and Janice is pinned against the wall by the Impale, and Janice is going to fall as well. And this entire fight has been a 5 against 4. Nike, your Phoenixes are falling, sister. You need to get back to base. Fire Giant buff still, and the Relentless Zellas have made maximum use of this Fire Giant buff. They took 4 of the Japers away. They took 3 of the objectives away as Thanatos' back gets interrupted by the minions. And they're making their way back through the jungle. Clear back camps, and this minion is following Thanatos through the jungle, and he fires his entire kit into it, I'm sure in frustration. The minion has bought 14 seconds of time for the Japers there. Emperors, they can team fight, but Janice is in the air. He's going to land on the Mercury, but he doesn't land on the Mercury. He gets away and he takes a big amount of damage as a result, but the Geb is caught out of position and impaled against the wall. An aggressive engage from the Janice there. Gets the beads and Aegis out of him as well, and his life as well from the Anha taking none of that. As soon as the engage happened, jumped straight in on it, and Nike's going to fall for the first time this game. Looks like they're going to go for the end here. It's 5 against 2. Don't want anything to do with that Phoenix. They are going straight for the Titan. They don't have minions, but it doesn't like it's going to matter. Izanami gets some damage away on the Anha, and Mercury picks up the Anha. And as a result, Mercury falls to the Kumbrakana. And the Relentless Zellas, with a pretty clean set, you have to say, are going to take game 1. There, and he does take 1 or 2 unnecessary hits as Ymir gets the slam but doesn't connect. And the Apollo isn't finished here. Goes for the Serenade, doesn't quite connect. Heimdall gets away the Yamiya freeze, stops Horus striking a kill on the Apollo, but not for long. The kill does drop. And that's unfortunate for the Japers there. They did have the early pressure, and Ratataska makes his way across, lands a stun with the Acorns. And once again, it's 2 kills for the Zellas in the duo lane early on. Ymir's Heimdall's low on health there, but Janus and Ratataska are still coming, and the Rat is going to be up in the trees, I imagine. Nope, doesn't quite have his ultimate up, as Horus takes a bit of damage. Apollo gets knocked up, and the Ratataska lands 2 abilities on the Apollo and the Ymir. And that's another double kill in favour of the Zellas. More action as Heimdall picks up a kill, but Ymir strikes one back on the Ratataska in return. Apollo's going to drop as well. His Guardian was too busy getting a kill. Double kill for the Ymir though. His ult is charging up, but Horus is just about going to get away with that as Esset came across just in time to do big damage to Horus and Janus. Well, what they did in the first game is once they secure the kill in mid lane, they make their way across to the duo lane, and Apollo is stuck between people. He doesn't want to be here. The Janus portal is good. The beads are too late though. Ymir falls to Janus. Sam WH23 picks up a kill. Horus tries to ult on the tower to kill the Apollo. It's not going to be enough, but it is when Janus fires across, and he uses the portal to escape the tower damage as well. Damage, and that certainly was shown there by the amount of damage that ability did. Esset backs away just in time to make the Horus ult not do enough damage as Cerberus lands, but the Esset ult is going to be big there. Heals her temporarily, but not enough to save her life. Hercules gets involved in the fight now, but it's too little too late, bro. Your teammates are dead, and Hercules gets sent back to base as well. And it looks like Relentless Zella are going to pick up the tier 1 tower, and if they're persistent, they can potentially rotate around to Full Fury here soon. No, he's not, because he has Transcendence. Lands on the Cerberus on the tower. Does land the knock up, and Cerberus gets pushed away by Hercules. Good from the Herc. But the tier 1 tower is going to fall anyway, and Cerberus isn't going to get away. SF does land the big ball of death that finishes off the Cerberus. Good push from Hercules during that fight to push the Cerberus away into danger. So let's take the tier 2, take the purple buff. What's next on the agenda? Is it Apollo's life? But Hercules doesn't land the knock up on anyone, and if anything just steps into 5 people. Hercules looks like he's going to fall there, but I'm going to go with the Ratataska, who goes through the trees and lands on Apollo's head, and Hercules does indeed fall after the aggressive engage into 5 of the Zellas. Makes short work of the enemy solo laner. But Ymir and Hercules, the frontline combo, are in danger here. The Ymir wall does nothing but wall his own Hercules away from escape. Ymir forced to Sam W on the Janus, who's now divine, and what a game he's having so far. 9-0. Made up for those through space and times which whiffed in the first game, brother. Now hopping around the Fire Giant. Are they going to start it up? Yes, they are. With Cerberus, because he's the one doing the zoning. How many knockups are we going to get from the Fire Giant here? None at all. Oh, just a 1. Just a 1 as Cerberus gets knocked up right at the end. That goes against you boys, I'm afraid. Senegal is going to add you to his list of those who don't know how to leash the Fire Giant properly. It doesn't matter that it was on the last basic attack. They all count right, Senegal. Go back over to the solo lane as the tier 2 tower is going to fall, but Horus ults a mere 15 units. Doesn't land on anyone as Heimdall takes a huge amount of damage from Esset. Warns him that he can't quite engage like that yet. Look on Hercules, who's throwing boulders. They part like the Red Sea, and no one gets hit by it. Ymir, level 12, is going to take big chunks of health from that Heimdall if he gets hit by any of those basics. Now there's a fight in the Phoenix as Cerberus ults, but doesn't land anyone because the beads come out. The Ratataska ult doesn't connect either. Hercules takes big damage, and the Ratataska's done nothing but jump into danger as Apollo sends him home. And Ratataska does big damage on the Hercules and sends him back too. Esset can never out discount Esset. The beads from the Apollo prevents the knockup. The Phoenix takes Cerberus. And do we have a disconnect here as Janus has... Have we had a disconnect? It looks like Janus is standing completely still on my screen. It appears we perhaps have had a disconnect. Janus has indeed disconnected. Well done from the Jolly Japers there for choosing not to kill Janus. Very good sportsman-like boys. Really, really appreciate that. From both side lanes for the Relentless Zellas. The Phoenix is back up though, but it potentially could be falling fairly quickly here. That is what's going to happen. as Ratataska's up in the air, and we'll switch over to the Ratataska to see where this ult's going. It's not going anywhere, it doesn't connect with anybody. Apollo Aegises, but only lands in the way of a Heimdall ultimate. He's going through 4 different dimensions, and I think the dimension he's going to land in is his own base, and that's exactly what happens. Phoenix does fall on left lane, and it looks like the Relentless Zellas with Fire Giant buff and Fire Minions in both waves. We're going to close the kill here. The Apollo is down on the enemy team as the Acorns land into the back of Mercury, and they are going to take the middle Phoenix. And you have to say this is looking huge in the way of the Zellas here, but they don't go for the secure. I'm surprised there. They had the advantage, or are they going for the secure? Are they doing a 5-man Horus ult? Here it comes. Yes, they are. There's the 5-man ult. The freeze from Yumiya's big, though, but so is the damage from Set. The Hercules boulder goes over everybody, but the Mercury ult goes through 4. Damage on the Titan, but the Titan's firing back here. They're stepping out, which is going to heal the Titan, and Heimdall picks up a kill on the Hercules as Mercury falls for a portal as Janus kills 2, and there's 2 in the way of the Zellas, and the Titan looks like it is now going to fall. And well played from the Relentless Zellas, who they pick up the 2-0 win in this fixture.